Well, Nagate, Kamaye, I see you, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do a James Cameron Avatar-inspired trunk or treat. So the first thing I'm going to be going over is some materials that you will need, and in the description below I will put the links of some of the materials that are more specific that I mentioned that you might want to get the exact item as shown. So I'll leave you those links. The next part, after I go over the materials, I will show you how to put the whole trunk or treat setup together. Without further ado, let's head on down to Planet Pandora. It's only like 5 years away. I mean, I'm already ready. I got my blue lights.
The first thing you will need is an SUV, a good pair of scissors, black zip ties for tying things down in the interior of the car, and white zip ties for tying down the bamboo fencing. Cordage, a comfortable pillow for sitting on. You need a large, dark colored sheet. You will need strips of colorful fabric to put in the foreground. 3 leafy camouflage blind covers. I use several different types of plants. This first plant, I'm not sure what kind it is. The second one is some type of iris. The third is kind of like an elephant ear. The next is a giant iris. And then we have a really colorful Croton plant. And rounding off the group is a huge peace lily. This is a resurrection fern growing on some tree bark that I peeled off of a dead limb that I found. I did not include it in this tutorial, but it is something that I used in the final product as well. If you want to have lights, you will need a portable power pack with an outlet, blue lights, and colorful lights. Extension cord. I didn't use this blacklight, but I think it would be really cool if you used it along with some blacklight reactive props and makeup. Here are some fake plants that I used. You don't have to use fake plants, but I found them very helpful for filling in areas and adding pops of color to the live plants. Optional, real bones. This is a lower jaw of a boar and the skull of a beaver. This is optional, but for an added sensory bonus, you can have a lighter, some incense cones, and a little cup to put them in, and you can light the incense and it will smoke and make the area smell good and also create a cool smoky effect. A hanging basket. Candy that matches the theme. You will need 2 woven grass blinds and 2 rolls of bamboo fencing. The grass blind and the bamboo fencing will be combined in the next step.
You'll want to lay down your grass with this side facing down and this side facing up, and your fencing, and you want to fold it over about a little more than halfway. Fold this over, make sure it's mostly centered on there, and you can wrap these edges around here, and you're going to want to take zip ties and zip tie it to the fence. You can use these holes, of course, to zip around these areas, and make sure you're going around either the bamboo poles and or the metal rod that goes through the bamboo. And then you will have your finished fence, which will look like this. You should end up with something like this, where the grass is over about half of the bamboo fencing, and you should have it zip tied throughout, such as down there. Here is one. That one looks like it's coming undone a little bit. That one is on the other side, so have the other side tied down as well. And then you also want to have a section that you put a rope on to tie to your car. Alright, first of all, if you want to have lights in your car, you're going to want to get your portable charger, and you're going to want to plug in your extension cord, and you're going to want to put this towards the front of the car because the front will be hidden with the giant sheet. Next, with your giant sheet, it doesn't really matter what color, but you're going to want it to be kind of a darker color. You're going to take it and you're going to take one corner of the sheet. So this corner, you're going to want to open up your car door. And it's helpful if you have the window open. And I want to take what can be so that you can hold this. And you're going to want to close the door on that sheet so that you have a little tail sticking out. So once again, we are on the other side of the car and we are going to reach through. Take our corner of the sheet and carefully close that in the door. Now you're going to need to do some adjusting to that on the inside. This is currently what the sheet looks like. As you can see, it's kind of low in the middle. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over, and where you had those tabs, you're going to pull on one, raise it up, and then kind of even it out. Pull on the other. And then you're going to want to pull out the sheet a little bit so that it extends all the way across the back of the car. And there you have it. You have a makeshift divider. In order to create a support for this back fake wall, I'm going to put this dustpan with a top thing here and wedge it between the seats to create a harder, like a support for this back wall so that it hopefully doesn't fall over too much when we go back in and attach colorful lights along the top of it. So now it's time to get a string of colorful lights. Here I have these circular colorful lights, and you're going to want to find the end of it, take this and plug it into your extension cord. Now this is where your black zip ties might come in handy to zip tie this in a few places in the back of the car. So for example, I would probably like to zip tie this to this door handle back here. the backdrop isn't as important as what's going to be in your foreground. The next step is going to be to put plants in the back of your car. You can set something down underneath them to keep your car clean, or you can just make sure that all the plants are in pots that will keep your car clean. I like to use different sizes of plants to create an interesting effect. This big plant will make a really good backdrop. Put it about here. Then you want to grab your other plants. So we'll put this here. That way. Keep in mind, some of them might get in your way a little bit if you put them in certain areas, so you might want to change that up. Make sure you're putting the best part of the plant facing outward, so where all the nice leaves are, where the leaves look best. And then this plant is called a Croton, and it is just really cool and exotic looking. Looks kind of like an alien plant, so I really like this one. So I want this one up kind of towards the front so that people notice it and it's really eye-catching. Balance. There it goes. Now I'm going to get my other strand of lights. This is like a net of lights, which we're going to use for the ground here in the front. I'm not going to put it out quite yet, but I am going to get it kind of ready. I'm going to reach over this plant and plug it in. That way those lights are ready to go once we have everything else out. Now you're going to get your colorful green, blue, sparkly, whatever fabric, and you're going to want to put pieces of it out around the car. I like to go in the corners of the car over here because it's kind of got some stuff that, you know, some regular stuff that's always in the car that you want to cover up. So just put some out. If you want to hang some fabric, you can hang some fabric. That might be a cool effect that you could play around with. But remember that you are going to put a pillow to sit on in the center here, so you don't have to cover the whole back. So the final piece I'm going to put out is going to be right across here. And I ended up covering everything, which is fine. Doesn't really matter all that much. Now I'm going to get one of these crazy camouflage things where it looks kind of like hanging plants. I'm going to set this out here. Drape it so that it's going to be hanging off the edge here. Are really disguising the back of your car. Now you're ready to put out the lights. These are going to be blue lights. Now it's time to add your pillow. This is going to be really important. I did this trunk or treat, I think it was 2 hours I had to sit in the back of the car. So you really want something comfortable to sit on. So I'm going to put this pillow here, and I will be sitting right there to hand out candy. Next, you want to get your hanging basket And you're gonna take the hook of the hanging basket, and of course I don't know how your SUV is set up, but on this SUV there is a little area here, a hinge that I can hook this around and have it hang from the back of the car. So inside this hanging basket is all of your candy that you're gonna hand out. So you're gonna crawl up there, sit right here, and you just have to reach over, hand the kids their candy. Next, I'm gonna add some extra touches that you don't need to add, but I think they just add a little extra flair and fill in some empty space. I'm gonna put this plant in here to hang. I'm gonna take these plants and I'm going to fill in this pocket area of the car and kind of disguise that some more. I'm gonna take this flower and do the same. Kind of disguise that area a little. I'm gonna take some of these single flowers and I'm gonna stick them through to bring out some continuity with the white flowers. Also kind of add some pops of lighter color because we have so much dark green going on around here that, you know, that helps out. Just try to find a spot where it won't get in your way. Maybe even stick one poking out through there. The rest of these I'm going to save for something else, which you will see in a little while. You could stop now and it would be an awesome trunk or treat, but I'm going to add some more elements around the outside of the car to really bring this all together and make it even more exciting. In order to keep this fence of grass from falling over onto people, we've tied on some string at the ends, and you're going to go up to the top of your car and you're going to tie it around the roof rack of your car to create some added stability so that this won't totally fall down on people. You're going to take a big plant, fit it right in there. You're going to take another plant, put it right there. Time to get some extra stuff. So this is an actual boar lower jaw. We're going to put this out now. Keep in mind, don't put it out to where people might accidentally step it or kick it. So maybe kind of hide it a little bit, but to where people won't step on it. This is a beaver skull, so we're going to put this out on the other side. About there. Then I've got some more flowers you can kind of stick in places, like there, and maybe put some of these in there. Have them sticking out. I have even more of these vine things, and I'm going to throw them on top of the car. You can pull some over to the side of the car so that they kind of disguise that edge. Have some over this way. And now you want to take another one of these things. Once again, another final touch you can add is you can get a portable music player. If you want to know what costume I used, I got the Secret Wishes Natiri costume, and here is the costume. It is a bodysuit and it zips up the back, and I added a few things to it, but it does come with this and the tail and mostly what you see there. And now it's time to turn on the lights. It's hard to see in this video, but those blue lights are on, and then of course the ones in the back are all twinkling. And then you crawl up in here like so, and you can lean in and hand out candy. And this trunk or treat design actually won the theme this year, so that was really awesome. We're really glad to have won. You know, obviously we put a lot of effort into our trunk theme, but I hope that you enjoyed this. I really had fun setting this all up again, and of course make sure to stay tuned. I'm hoping to do a tutorial on how I put together my Avatar Na'vi costume and how I painted my face and did my hair and all of that. But for now, this is just how we set up this whole trunk or treat thing, and I will leave some links in the description below on where you can find some of the awesome things like this, and you know, some of the other stuff. Other things you can just kind of look around for. You know, obviously the pillow doesn't have to be blue, it can be whatever, so you can just kind of make this project your own. But I hope you really enjoyed this project. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the bell icon next to the subscribe button so that you can catch up on all my new videos. So thank you guys, bye. My way, people, my way. That means calm down. So calm down, the video is over, finally. Actually, I need to tell myself that. My way, Aaliyah, my way.